Hello guys, welcome back to another video. We're going to be working on the BMW 760 Li, the V12 7 Series. And yeah, we're going to be paying some more attention to the brakes today. So far on the brakes we have replaced all of the brake hoses. We've upgraded them for some steel braided hoses. We've also replaced the rear parking brake shoes. We've replaced the rear discs and the rear pads, and then we haven't really done a whole lot on the fronts. But you know, I have listened to you guys. You know, I saw that in the comments you guys suggested that I should replace the front discs and pads, and I was kind of in two minds. I was kind of thinking, yeah, I will be replacing them at some point, but I kind of wanted to get on with the other stuff. And I pretty much ordered, you know, all the parts that I need for the entire car now. So it's just a case of working through them, and I thought I may as well just fully complete the brakes, and then I know that they are done. So we are going to be replacing the front discs and pads today, and we're actually going to be replacing the rear discs again. And that is because, now again, I have listened to you guys. You know, some of you realized in the previous video where we attacked the rear brakes that the rear discs were actually the wrong size. I mean, I didn't notice myself when I was installing them. I bought the discs, I bought them from a car parts supplier. I won't mention them, they are here in the UK. And yeah, they gave me the wrong parts. They are completely the wrong size. So I just went ahead and installed them. I thought everything was going to be fine, but yeah, they are completely the wrong size. I guess there's kind of two different sizes for my model, and mine is the larger size, being the V12 760 Li. So yeah, we're going to be swapping out the rear discs as well. I think the pads are fine. I hope they are fine. But yeah, the rear discs, they are going to need replacing as well. So yeah, got a lot to do today. Let's get outside and let's get cracking. Okay then, so as you can see, we have the 760 Li up in the air. I've already taken the front wheels off. So here is how the front brakes are looking. I mean, from a distance you think, yeah, plenty of life left, but there is a slight bit of a lip on them, and the pads, they have definitely seen better days. I mean, they've probably got a few more thousand miles on them, but once they've been replaced, I know that they've been replaced then. Now I'll just show you what the rear brakes look like. Now, as you can see, they look fairly new. That's because I've literally just replaced the rear discs. If you have a look there in the center, there is quite a big contact area that hasn't worn off. Now that's not because the pads are wrong, that's because these discs are actually the incorrect ones. So yeah, that's the reason why we are replacing the rear disc, but we'll move on to that after we've done the fronts. Okay then, so first thing I'm going to do is try and remove the brake disc retaining screw, because if we can't remove that, then we won't be able to remove the disc itself. So I'm going to try and crack it loose first before I start, trying to remove the caliper and all that. So it's just held in by one screw. It takes a 6mm Allen bit. And I'm actually going to jam a screwdriver in one of the slots on the brake disc, just so it can't turn while I'm trying to remove this. Yeah, not too bad. I have it quite often where this is actually seized in here, and it ends up rounding off. So it's always good to remove this before you try to remove the caliper and all the rest of it. Next thing I'm going to do then is actually rotate the hub itself, just so we can access the rear of the caliper a bit better. And I'm just going to pop the retaining clip off at the front. There we are. Next thing then is to remove the caps over the slider bolts. There's one, there's the other one. I'll just crack the bolts themselves loose. Now what we want to do then is compress the caliper pistons into the caliper itself, because the pads are tight on the disc, so we can't remove the caliper itself until we do that. And once we've done that, we should be able to remove the caliper itself, and we can remove the old pads. Just pop them out. It's just an indicator of how much is left. You can see quite a bit of material left, but yeah, I'm just going to swap them out anyway. Caliper over to one side. Don't let it rest on the hose itself though, make sure it is supported. Either get one of those hooks so you can hang it up off the suspension, or yeah, just put it on a stool like this. Next thing then is to remove the caliper bracket. It's just held in by two 18mm bolts. So we get the breaker bar on there. See how tight this is going to be. Yep, very tight. We are, that's the bracket removed. Oh, just got to wind out the rest of that screw. There we are, and that's the disc removed. Okay then, next thing to do is give the hub a good clean up, just with the wire wheel attachment on a drill. And some brake cleaner. And then the air compressor. Now I just like to put a light film of some copper grease just on the hub itself. Don't need to go crazy with it. Just prevents the brake disc itself from seizing to the hub. Now our new discs can go on, and these are so heavy. They're 374mm. They are absolutely huge. Next thing to do then is reinstall the caliper bracket, which I have already gave a bit of a clean. It's ready for reinstallation now. Now it's time to torque the two bolts down. Okay, so it's now time to install our new pads into the caliper. Have gave the caliper a bit of a clean up, and yeah, I have also applied some anti-seize just to the tips of the pads, just so they can move freely inside the caliper. Now we can lift the caliper itself into position over the caliper bracket. It should slide over because the pistons are all the way in. Yep. And now the two slider bolts can be tightened down. And we can install the two plastic caps. Now I'm just going to give the entire caliper a quick clean again. Oh, almost forgot we have a brake pad wear sensor on this side, so I'm going to be replacing this as well. I mean, obviously I could reuse it, but for the sake of how much it costs, you're better off just replacing it. Just follow it all the way back to this box here. As usually is the case, a load of dirt falls out. Quick spray with some electrical contact cleaner. So I have no idea how this thing is still working, being just full of dirt. There we are then, there's the brake pad wear sensor fully plugged in, and that is this side now completed. And as you can see, I've now done this side as well, and now all that's left is the rear discs. Okay then, so as you can see we have the rear of the car up in the air now, and yeah, this is what I meant by the disc. As you can see, it's quite a big contact area there that is not being made contact with the pads. Like I said, the pads are the correct pads, and these are the correct discs, the new ones. As you can see, they're kind of the contact area is kind of recessed, so it's you know, quite a bit away from the hub. So yeah, these should be perfect for these pads. I believe these are 370 millimeters in diameter, so again, very, very big discs. Now I'm not going to bother showing installing these because I have done it once before and it's pretty much the same process as the front. So yeah, without further ado, let's get these installed. Okay then, so as you can see, the rear brakes are now pretty much done, and I don't know if you can tell, but these are actually different discs to the fronts, and they should be the same. Now that is because we have had an absolute nightmare with these. Let me explain. So originally we installed these discs right here. These are the 345 millimeter diameter discs. Now I installed these because Real OEM, where I checked all of my BMW part numbers, it said that these are the only discs for your car, for the rear of the car. And pretty much all the different part stores and everything only said these discs fit as well. And pretty shortly after installing them, I realized that they were not the correct size discs for the job. As you can see, there is quite a big contact area on here that, you know, isn't being used up. And that is when I discovered that my car from factory actually came with upgraded discs. Now this is why it doesn't actually show in Real OEM, because this was an optional extra from factory, so obviously it comes with the 370 millimeter discs. So I thought, okay, fair enough, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, scrap the 345 millimeter ones, and then purchase a set of the 370 millimeter discs. And that's what I'd done. Went to install these, and they would not go on for the life of it. And I mean, yeah, at that point I was very frustrated. For whatever reason, the disc itself would not seem to sit flush on the hub, and it seemed like it was about 3 or 4 millimeters out. And yeah, I kept, you know, double and triple checking to make sure that these are definitely the correct discs for my car. And yeah, after a few hours more trying, I actually found out that there's 2 different 370 millimeter rear disc variants for this car. So there's pre-2005 and then post-2005. And it turns out that these discs here are actually post-2005, and obviously with my car being a 2003 model, I needed the pre-2005. So yeah, these discs were too thick essentially, and that's when I had to order the third set, which are these ones just here. So yeah, absolute nightmare. But now we have new discs and pads, front and rear, and we're good to go. Okay then guys, so there we go. That is pretty much the entire braking system on the BMW 760 Ally now replaced. So we have replaced the front and rear discs, front and rear pads, rear parking brake shoe assemblies, brake hoses all round. Obviously we've upgraded them for some steel braided ones. We have refurbished all 4 calipers, new piston seals, all the rest of it, bleed screws, literally everything we have replaced. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else? I mean, we've done multiple brake fluid flushes, and honestly just got back from a little drive, and yeah, brakes feel absolutely spot on now. I mean, this car is by no means a light car. It's like weighs over 2 tons, but yeah, it really does stop now when you need it to. And I think that's largely down to the pads that I've used. So I've used the Techstar pads, and I'm a big fan of the Techstar pads. Like I said, I have them on my BMW 130i as well, and the bite on them is really second to none. So yeah, I'd highly recommend them. And yeah, I think that is us pretty much now done for the braking system, so we can probably move on to buttoning up a few other little jobs and probably getting the engine side of things finished as well, because I've got a bunch of parts right in front of me over there that I know need to go on the car. And then after that, I think we can, you know, start focusing on the cosmetic side of things, because, you know, we want to have a nice driving, running car. And then once all that's done, then we can start making it look pretty as well. But yeah, that's it for today, really. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace!